Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Now, Sri Ramanasramam is going to talk. Before that, I'd like to introduce the Swamiji. Actually, he has got a small ashram, couple of miles from Sri Ramanasramam. Swamiji is no stranger to us, actually, at least in the Northeast. He has visited several times the New York, New Jersey, Washington, D.C., and other areas, including the West Coast. He has stayed a couple of times in the ashram here, and we have heard talking about Advaita from him quite a few times. That being said, Swami Ramana Swaroopananda is an ardent devotee of Sri Arunachala Ramana and an earnest seeker following the path of Atmavichara, and he is the Acharya of Sri Ramana Arunachala Adhyatma Mandir. He is the chief Acharya of that. Swamiji came under the benign influence of great tapaswin and a true sannyasin of Sri Adi Shankara order, Swami Satyananda Saraswati, at a very young age. And he chose to dedicate his life for the pursuit of truth and for the welfare of the world. He studied Hindu scriptures at the feet of learned acharyas at Sandipani Sadhanalaya, that is, under the Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda, and served the mission for 10 years in Sri Lanka and India. Submitting to the inner call of the divine, he moved to Arunachala Kshetra to practice the austerities at the feet of Bhagavan Sri Ramana. Initiated by Arunachala Ramana into the secrets of Atma Gnana, the self-knowledge, he is now prompted from within to share his love and understanding of the Atma Vichara to other seekers of the truth. Swamiji has specialized in the Atma Vichara to describe it, and I request him to speak a few words about it. And Swamiji, please go ahead.
Hari Om. Namaskaram. Am I audible? Is everything all right?
Yeah, it is all right, Swamiji. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Om Aryati Tarasivara Dhagavari Sagugayil Arivairami Paramattuman Arunachala Ramanan Parivalulam Uruganala Paranandidu Guhayan Arivam Vizhitiravai Nisamarivaai Adu Veliyam Annamalai Adiyenai Anda Andre Aviyudal Kondayanakko Kurayundo Kurayum Gunamum Niyallal Yenne Nivatrai Yennuire Yennam Yeduvo Adu Seivai Kanne Undan கழலினையிற் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே. கண்ணே உந்தன் கழலினையிற் காதற் பெருக்கே தருவாயே. ஓம் அதிமதுர சாபஹஸ்தாம் அபரிமிதாம் மோதபான சௌபாக்யாம் அருணாம் அதிசய கருணாம் அபிநவ குலசுந்தரீம் வந்தே. ஓம் ஐம் ஹ்ரீம் ஸ்ரீம். Sri Arunachalam, Sri Arunachalam, Sri Arunachalam. Dear devotees all across the world, I am so glad to join in this online satsang, celebrating the occasion of Advent Day of Sri Bhagavan. For me, Bhagavan is everything. He is my Guru, he is my Ishtha, and he is my hero, and he is my goal. So when the president of Arunachala Ashrama, Sri Ramanana Swami asked me to speak and share the knowledge with the devotees of Bhagavan, I got so excited because in Tamil they say, Karumbu dinna kooliyan kepan. To sort of eat sugarcane, should anybody pay you or what? So to talk about Bhagavan is Ananda for me. I'm so happy to share whatever I know a little among the devotees. See, today we are going to take the third verse of Arunachala Pancharatnam. I'm going to take the Tamil verse written by Bhagavan, the original verse, and then I'm going to sort of explain to you what it means and how to go about in Atma Vichara. The third verse say, Agamugamaranda Amalamadi Tannal Ahamidudan Yengelum Yendrainde Ahavuruvai Nangarindu Munni Nadipolum Moyume Unkan Arunachalane O. Here, Bhagavan gives the real pointer of how to go about in Atma Vichara. This is the heart of this Arunachala Pancharatnam, because there are 5 verses and this is the third verse. So is the central theme of Bhagavan's teaching is given in the third verse. Bhagavan says, Agamugamar anda amalamadi tannal, meaning, first of all, for Atma Vichara, the mind has to be agamugama irukonu, to turn within. Meaning, when we are extroverted and the mind is always roaming around in the world, the Atma Vichara is not at all possible. So, what we have to do, ahamuhamaranda, meaning the mind has to be somehow focused within. Ahamuha means what? We should not give any value to any other thoughts. And we should try to focus only on the Atma, the self, or the I thought, whatever it is. For that, we need Amalamadi. Amalamadi Tannal. Malam means impurity. Amalam means what? The pure, pavitramana, pure mind we need. What is the meaning of pure mind? Amalamadi Tannal means what? See, when we sit for meditation or for Atma Vichara, the mind should not go into the sleep. It should be alert. And it should not roam in different thoughts. So, the mind should be in a state where it has to be quiet, meaning not to think of anything else except the self, at the same time alert, meaning not going into sleep. So this balance is very, very difficult actually, because we have trained our mind all these days either to think from the time we get up from the bed till the time we go back to bed. We have trained our mind to think of so many things to think, or go to sleep. So the mind is not trained to be quiet, alert, and not to sleep. So this is the challenge. How to keep the mind quiet and alert at the same time? That is why we require sattva. In our Vedanta Shastra, it is said we are always under the influence of three gunas. That is tamas, rajas, and sattva. What is tamas? Tamas means dull state. Mind goes back into sleep. Actually speaking, this sleep is a big shatru for a sadhaka. So the mind goes into sleep, or the mind roams around and it expands into hundreds and thousands of thoughts. So this expansion in thought is because of rajas. So either the mind is tamasic, going to sleep, or rajasic, running in so many thoughts. To keep the mind without going to sleep and not running into thoughts, we need sattva. This is very important. See, howsoever you study scriptures, howsoever you discuss or you think about it, but if the mind is not in that sattva state, it cannot inquire or it cannot meditate. So the whole of the sadhana is to develop this sattva in the seeker. See, that is why Bhagavan, he has not spoken about any yama niyamas. Only niyama he has given us is mida satviha aharam, meaning when you eat midama, meaning moderate, and satviha aharam means sattvic food. So this is very important to have a sattvic mind. So when you eat properly and sleep also, it is in Bhagavad Gita, sleep also is very important. When you don't sleep at all, then you will be very dull or in a very confused state. But when you go on sleeping also, you become very complacent and you can't focus on anything. So we have to sleep properly in moderation. You know what Bhagavan has said? Whenever you feel like sleeping, sleep. Whenever you are fresh and inspired, then do this Atma Vichara. So this sleep is very important. Moderate sleep. And also very important, a seeker should not tire himself with too much of physical activities. Yeah, I have seen in my own life, from my own experience, if you tire yourself with physical activity, the body and mind becomes dull and sleep, and you cannot be in sattva state. So therefore, amala maditanna is very important. That instrument with which you are going to do the Atma Vichara, the mind itself should be very, very peaceful, quiet, and alert. This is very important. See, that is why this Amalam is important. See, throughout a day, we run here, do this, that, and we get very exhausted. State goes to sleep. So it's not only that half an hour which is important, where you sit for Atma Vichara, Dhyana, or whatever, throughout your day, how you have lived is very, very important. So throughout the day, if you have maintained a sort of a very serene, composed or state of mind, then if you sit in the seat of meditation for Atma Vichara, the mind is available, it is quiet, and it is alert. So this is very, very important. And another way to increase the sattva is to have satsanga and to chant the name of the Lord. And Bhagavan has shown us Arunachala, Smaranat Arunachalam. When you remember him, you are liberated. So chanting of the Lord's name and seeking the company of the good, and then having proper midasatviha aharam, and then proper sleep, not overexert, proper rest and relaxation. All these things are very important for a sadhaka. So only when you create a conducive atmosphere, you can sit for this Atma Vichara or the Dhyana. Then only the mind will be quiet and alert. Otherwise, the mind may go to sleep or it gets agitated and roam in hundreds of thoughts. So therefore, Bhagavan says, Amalamadi Tannal. Aha Mukha Maharanda Amalamadi Tannal. Aham idudan engelum endrainde. Aham idudan. Aham means the I. Aham in Sanskrit, I it means. Aham idudan yengu elum. From where it rises. Endru ainde. When you give your attention and when you see within, look within, endru ainde means what? Giving attention and looking within. Yengelum endrainde. From where this I thought is rising, you have to see within, look within. Then when you focus your mind, your attention on that I thought, then Bhagavan says, I vanishes. நான் என்றெழும் இடம் ஏதென நாட உள் நான் தலை சாய்ந்திடும் முந்தி பர ஞான விசாரமி துந்தி பர. Bhagavan says, when you give your attention from where this I thought is rising, then he says, the I thought disappears or vanishes. You know what? I have been talking about this, teaching this Atma Vishara all over the world for the past 15-20 years. What people ask me, Swamiji, it is all wonderful. But Swamiji, it is all very abstract. Sometimes, we feel we do not know what to do actually. And we feel it is all sort of or impractical thing. Swamiji, can you please give us some practical tips of how to go about it? See, the thing is, nobody can help in this pursuit. If something else could have been said, Bhagavan would have said, no. Bhagavan is such an ocean of compassion. If something else could have been said, he would have said, no. Here, only we can give this much of a pointer. We have to give attention within and try to find out from where this I thought is arising. For all of us, there is this Puranam, na, I. Every day we talk about this I 100 or 1,000 times. I came, I went, I did, and I achieved this, that, I will talk. But when somebody asks you to find out what is this I, then we say, what is this? I don't know. It is all very subtle, very abstract. I don't know. So even the sadhaks who have been following Bhagavan for 20, 30 years, sometimes they come and tell us, Swami, we really don't know what to do actually. We are groping in darkness. I tell them, see, this is what we have to do. Nobody can help us. Bhagavan has said something. We have to sit and we have to experiment with what Bhagavan has said. Again and again and again, we have to do whatever we understand by Atma Vichara. See, for me also, when I started, I was not knowing what to do actually. But again and again, we have to try. My Bhagavan has said something. It should be the truth. What did he say actually? So you have to think about it and you have to sit and you have to try to focus within and try to find out what is this I thought and from where it is coming. See, we may fail for 100 times, but when we are sincere, when we are earnest, one day we will stumble on this. what he is talking about. See, if you can catch what he is talking about, then it is all very simple, I tell you. It is not at all complicated. It is so simple, actually, with capital S. It is very simple. The problem is, we don't start or we don't experiment with it. We go on telling, oh, it is all difficult. I don't know what he is talking about. I don't know. It's all very abstract. I think it is not my cup of tea, blah, 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 blah. We say. Instead of that, we should sit and start. Somewhere we have to start. Yeah, we may not understand. Whatever you understand, you start. Sometimes you may fail. Not most of the time you may fail. That is okay. But you keep on trying. I tell you, Bhagavan is in our own heart as Atma, the self. He is ocean of compassion. When you try again and again and again, the guidance comes from within. You yourself will know what it is, how to go about, what to do and what not to do. Everything comes from within. See, that guidance which comes from within is the real guidance. Because nobody else would know where you are, what you are trying to do, and nobody can help you beyond the point. You have to sit and you have to struggle and you have to find your own path. And nobody can help us. So therefore, Ahamidudan engelum endrainde, meaning what? From where it rises, we have to find it. Swamiji, can you give us some sort of practical tips? No, nothing else can be given. You have to sit and you have to find. I tell you, you may fail again and again, but when you succeed, that is it. Actually, everything is over there. And afterwards, it is just abiding there. Ippadi tappuna yen ninaipitha ini yaar viduvar Arunachala. Meaning what? Once you taste, once you have the glimpse of that, you will never miss it or you will never want to give it up. So therefore, we have to be very earnest. We have to try again and again and again. If you are sincere, success is sure for the sincere. So, engelumendrainde aha uruvai nangarindu. So what we have to do? We have to know what is the self. See, here is the catch. Aha uruvai nangarindu means it is not like knowing any other things in the world. Aha uruvai nangarindu means, oh, we have to know the self. See, Bhagavan again and again says, you cannot know the self. Because there are no two selves, one to know and other to be known. The self is one only. It is everybody's anubhavam, everybody's experience. Therefore, here is the catch. See, we have known everything in our lives. Similarly, we want to know also this self. This is a great struggle of any matured seeker. He has given up everything for the sake of the self. He wants to know the self. Now he feels somehow he should know the self. But alas, you cannot know the self. Swamiji, we can never know the self? Yes. எதிரிட்டு அறிய முடியாது. ஒரு பொருளாக எதிரிட்டு அறிய முடியாது. You cannot know the self as an object. You know what? The Arunachala Tattvam has come only to indicate this. What is Arunachala Tattvam? Brahmaji and Vishnuji tried their best to somehow fathom the Mudi and Adi, the crown and the feet of the Lord Arunachala, Lord Shiva. But you know what? They, the great trinities, the great Lord, they failed. They could not fathom Adi or Mudi, the feet or the crown. If Brahma and Vishnu cannot know the truth, how can you and I? We can never know the truth. As a jiva, with the ego, we can never know the truth. So what is the meaning of Ahavurvai Nangarindu means what means? You have to understand that. The Ahavuru means the egoistic I that can be sort of understood or can be focused on, but not the absolute I. There, this struggle of knowing the self should end. Meaning what? You can only be the self. You cannot know the self. So Arunachala Tattvam has come into being only to indicate to the sadhaka that you can never know the truth. You have to be the truth. For being the truth, what you have to do? You have to hold on to that I thought and be there. Whatever you understand about the I thought, you hold on to that. You be there. When you are there, then the mind goes from a limited existence to the unlimited existence. See, what is limited existence? Limited existence means what? We are identifying the body mind and we think we are this. பிளவு பட்ட உணர்வு நிலைன்னு பகவான் சொல்லுவார். பிளவு பட்ட உணர்வு நிலை. Here, the consciousness has split into I versus the rest of the world. That is பிளவு பட்ட உணர்வு நிலை. The conscious has been as though broken into aham and idam, I and the world. From there, when you only focus on the I and remain there, you glide into a state of பிளவு படாத உணர்வு நிலை. Meaning what? That consciousness which is not broken into I versus rest of the world or aham versus idam. There, the experience is aham 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 taya spurati hrit swayam. Meaning what? You glide into a state where there is only aham and no meaning for any idam. Meaning aham swallows all and there is only aham. See how beautiful? See, அருள் நிறைவான அருள் நிலைவான அமுதக்கடலே விரிகதிரால் யாவும் விழுங்கும் அருண கிரிபரமான்மாவே கிளருளப்பூ நன்றாய் விரிபருதியாக விளங்கு. So here it is said, அருள் நிறைவான அமுதக்கடலே விரிகதிரால் யாவும் விழுங்கும் அருணாச்சல, he says. So this I, this விழுங்கும், யாவும் விழுங்கும், it swallows everything. Meaning what? You glide from a state where it is a limited existence of I versus the rest. பிளவு பட்ட உணர்வு நிலை. From there, you glide into unlimited existence, which is பிளவு படாத உணர்வு நிலை. So that பிளவு படாத உணர்வு நிலை is the truth. So there you glide. So it is not knowing, it is just being yourself, where it is no more I versus the rest. It is I. See, this is a beautiful journey, actually. So here, we should not try to know. But you know what? This is a struggle. We have objectified everything. We want to objectify the truth also. If you try to define the truth, you are defiling the truth. You cannot objectify it. So you have to just remain in yourself. So அகவுருவை நன்கு அறிந்து means what? It is not knowing as an object, but being, and then it is revealed by itself. The revelation happens by itself. You know what? As long as the ego is there, it is split into aham and idam, it can never be known. When the ego perishes, and when there is aham, then you will not know it. You are that, and it is revealed by itself. Jyotishamapi tajyotihi tamasap paramuchyate. Meaning what? It is revealed by itself. See, that is the glory of the self. அகவுருவை நன்கு அறிந்து முன்னீர் நதி போலும் ஓயுமே. Munnir means what? Ocean. Where the three types of water come and merge. Meaning the rainwater and the river water and the spring water. That is called Munnir, meaning ocean. How the river comes and merges with the ocean, like that, the eye, small eye, merges into that real eye. Meaning what? The river loses its name and form and becomes the ocean. Similarly, the small I loses its identity and it remains as the pure self. See, in spite of our struggle, of our sitting in our Atma Vichara, hours together, sometimes we feel, Swamiji, this is not happening in me. I'm giving all my best. But Swamiji, unfortunately, it is not happening in me. What should I do? Here, Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives a very important pointer in Bhagavad Gita. He says, Abhyasa alone is not sufficient. Vairagya also is important. Vairagyena cha gruhyate. Abhyasena tu kaunteya. Vairagyena cha gruhyate. Meaning what? Along with the practice, we should develop dispassion. See, this is the key for the Atma Jnana. People think I can sit in meditation, Atma Vichara for a few hours and I can do anything I want. And the Parupalanga Veha. We have to become totally dispassionate. For that, we need proper viveka. Meaning what? This world is nothing. Asaram, ashashvatam. And then we should feel this alone is truth and this alone I want. And, it is said in Kathopanishad, a very beautiful thing is said. It is said, Nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha, na medhaya, na bahuna shrutena, yame vaisha vrunute tena labhyaha, tasyaisha atma vivrunute tam swam. Meaning what? It is said, it is not gained through pravachanena, like this preaching, it is not attained. Na medhaya, you may be a medhavi. You might have memorized everything, all the Vedas, 4 Vedas. No. Na bahuna shrutena. You would have listened to so many Upanishads, this, that. No. Then what? Yamaivesha vrunute tena labhyaha. Tasyesha atma vivrunute tananso means what? If you choose Atma and Atma alone, then such a person Atma chooses. In Kathopanishad, Lord Yama says, he reveals to Nachiketas, the Paramatma chooses such a person, one who chooses Paramatma and Paramatma alone. See, this is Vairagya. Vairagya means what? I want only the truth, because that is imperishable. That is Satyam and Shivam Sundaram. And that is Shashvatam. So this we have to hold on. But you know what? We want everything in life and also the truth. That will not work. So
Swamiji is going to connect Mohanji. I just called.
That was a concern at one time, Bhaskar.
No, he joined. He joined.
Hari-
Go ahead, Swamiji.
Rio?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, please
Am I
go.
audible now?
Yeah, yes, Swamiji. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry for this. So what I was talking, this Vairagya is very important. Only when we want Atma, the self, alone, then to that person, the Atma is revealed. See, this we have to understand. This is very important in our lives. So therefore, there is no point in struggling to know the truth. We have to be the truth. And also, we need to choose Atma and Atma alone if we want to abide in the Atma, the self. See, that is why those days the rishis and munis, they have gone. They have gone into forest and they just sat and gave their all for this pursuit. The Lord Buddha, he had gone and he sat at one place in that Buddha Gaya. He sat there. Only after knowing the truth, I will move from here. Like that, he sat. All the great masters, our Bhagavan also, in the Padala Linga, he sat and lost himself. So, like that, it is hard work. So, only when we focus totally on the self, we can abide in the self. And again, we have got a lot of vasanas within. We do not know how much of vasanas we have got. It is really a Mahabharata Yuddha only. So vasanas come again and again and again. We do not know which vasana come at which part of our life, which phase of our life. And the constant struggle. So Bhagavan says, whenever thoughts arises, then and then ask for whom this thought. And then you go deep, dive deep within yourself. And then from where this I thought is arising, this is the way to go. And one more thing, Bhagavan cautions in Ulladanato and Anubandham also he cautions. He says, there is no point in studying too many scriptures. He says, படிச்சுட்டே இந்த மனம் விரியத்தான் செய்யுமே ஒழிய மனம் ஒடுங்காதுங்கிறார். Meaning what? When you go on studying, the mind will expand. The mind will not go back into its source. See, this is the trick of the mind, you know. See, there are two tricks of the mind. One is, when will I realize? When will I realize? When will I know the truth? The mind becomes so anxious. Who is anxious? The ego is anxious. See, the ego should go. But you know, the ego has got a trick. It keeps itself alive by worrying. When will I realize? When will I realize? So, actually, you know what? We are appointing the thief as the police officer to catch hold of the thief. Will it work? Here, ego is the thief. To catch hold of him, we are appointing the same ego as the police officer. See, this is the irony of this pursuit. How will it happen? This fellow is never going to hunt down the criminal because he himself is a criminal. So therefore, this is a very strange and fascinating thing. This ego is very tricky. So therefore, the ego creates all the anxieties and it worries. No. That we have to surrender unto the Lord, unto our Gurunatha, up to our Guru's feet, Bhagavan's feet. It is none of my business. You take care of everything. I will go on inquire. Who am I? Where am I? And all the whence am I? And all those stuff. Whatever has happened is his prasada. I have nothing to do with that. With that, we have to approach. And second thing is, I find a lot of sadhakas reading into this bhashya, that bhashya, and discussing intellection, hair-splitting arguments. I tell you, all those things will not help. See, when I decided to join the ashram, our Swamiji, a great person, a great tapasvi and a jnani, he said, see, you listen to the acharya, you contemplate, but do not debate or argue or discuss with anybody, because it cannot be known through discussion or debate. You have to go within. So therefore, going on studying will never help. So you know what Bhagavan says? Kattrum adangarir kalladare uindar. He says, even the illiterate, they are better off, he says, than those who are a great scholar. Kattrum adangar, one whose ego has not gone. So compared to them, the scholars, illiterate ones are better. You know why? He says, Sindai vai noi uindar. Bhagavan says, Sindai vai noi. Now what I am doing is the same. Sindai vai noi. Sindai means mind. Whatever comes into the mind, we have to express through the vai, through the speech. He says this is a disease. Sindai vai noi. Uindar means the illiterate ones, or they have grown up, or they have grown above this Sindai vai noi. And Sirdedi Odal Uindar. The scholars, they run everywhere in terms of recognition. They want recognition. They want people to appreciate them. Or they want some ponmudi, something, some money, wealth, this and that. So these illiterate ones are better off, because at least they are not running here, there. Sirdedi Odal Uindar. So therefore, Bhagavan says, too much of reading doesn't help at all. So we have to, whatever we understood, Bhagavan says from all the scriptures, we have to know only one thing. The mind has to be Hari Om.
Yeah, Hari Om, please go ahead.
So, am I audible now?
Yes.
Yep.
Therefore, Bhagavan says, Ahamuhamaranda Amalamadi Tannal, Ahamidudan Engelum and Rainde, Ahamurvai Nangarinde, Munir Nadibolum Oyume, Unkan Arunachalane Or. Meaning what? The mind has to subside in the heart. For that, as I told you, the Vairagya is very, very important. See, this Shastreshana, they say. See, there are different Ishanas, Putreshana and Lokeshana and so many Ishanas. In that, the Shastreshana, meaning wanting to know more and more and more, is another disease actually. Meaning the ego keeps itself alive by wanting to know more and more and more. Here, Bhagavan says, Arivadarku ondrumillai. There is nothing to know. You have to just be in your own self. Therefore, this we have to understand, and we have to give up. See, there was one great saint in Yalpanam, Jaffna, Yoga Swami. In his Nachindanai, once I read, when I was reading, there comes an instruction. Puttakathai moodi vai. Close the book. If you're sincere, immediately you have to close the book. Meaning what? There is no point in searching this in the books, in intellection. It is beyond the intellect, beyond thoughts. Therefore, no point in arguing whether Advaita, Vishishta Advaita, this or that, because it's beyond all thoughts, all ideas, all concepts. And in the pure Mauna, silence only it is revealed. So in silence, there are no words, no ideas, no concepts. Therefore, no Bheda. Therefore, no different philosophy or no different ideologies. So therefore, Maunam Vyakya Prakatitapara Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam. So we have to abide in our own self. That is the goal. Bhagavan says, Vanda Velai Kavani. Adhadan நம்ம செய்யணும். அதை விட்டுட்டு என்னென்னமோ செஞ்சுட்டு இருந்தோம்னா there is no use. That's what Bhagavan says. Now I stop here. As I have told Mohan Ramaswamy ji, I will speak for 45 to 50 minutes. And then for 15 more minutes, if there are any questions you can ask. And if at all I know, I will try to answer. Mohan Ramaswamy, are there any questions from the devotees?
Yeah. Pranam Swamiji. I got a couple of questions here. 1 minute, yeah. Swamiji, as you said, when we experiment with what Sri Bhagavan has said regarding the practice of Atma Vichara, are there any signs that we are advancing on the right path? Or how do we know that we are progressing in this divine sadhana in the manner that Sri Bhagavan has advised? Go ahead, Swamiji.
A very good question. A wonderful question. See, initially, we struggle in the seat of meditation or Atma Vichara. More and more we practice. When we get more and more clarity, when the guidance comes from within more and more, everything becomes very simple. Meaning what? We won't struggle anymore. See, when there is less struggle, முயற்சி இல்லாத தன்மைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. Less struggle and less effort. Effortlessly, when we can remain peaceful and quiet, blissful, means ananda, that state, that shows your progress. And you know what? The mind will want to sit or to be in that state again and again and again. See, sahaja is something else. That is the ultimate. There, whether you are functioning in the world or you are in the samadhi, everything is the same. But when you progress in the Atma Vichara, பிளவுபட்ட உணர்வுல பிளவுபடாத உணர்வுக்கு போகும்போது there is no effort there. It's effortless state actually. So when you find yourself more and more in an effortless state, then you are progressing. More and more you find yourself struggling, then you are groping in darkness only. So therefore, this is the sign, effortlessness. And the second sign is, see, initially we force our mind to sit. Now sit, now sit. The mind will say, no, I want to do this, I want to do that. But later, even without you pushing, mind will ask you, shall we sit? Shall we do this? Shall we be in this state for some time? Please. Like that, mind will ask you, and it will cooperate. It will want to sit, and it will want to glide into that state. So this is the beautiful change, in yourself you can see. And one more thing. You won't hurt or disturb anybody, and you will not be hurt or disturbed by anybody. See, this is a sign of progress. If you remain without getting disturbed or hurt by anything, by anybody, then you are in the egoless state. And you also won't unnecessarily disturb others or hurt others. So this peaceful coexistence with the people around, with the nature around, this is a sign of progress, actually. Anything else?
Yes, Swamiji. I got two more questions. I'll read the next one.
Yes.
Swami, in the unlimited existence that you have so wonderfully described, the individual who seeks this unlimited existence will be no more. Just as the drop of water loses its individual identity, however, the water drop is fortunate in that it has to exert no effort. It will be led to the ocean by its very nature. But we see that we have to exert enormous effort in sadhana. It seems, why is this?
See, the effort in sadhana is because we don't have clarity. When there is clarity, when you know what you are doing and what you have to do, meaning what? Doing means what? It's not doing actually. See, when you stumble upon this I thought, what is this I thought? And when you learn the knack of keeping your mind in the I thought, then everything is done. Everything is over. Then you need vairagya to keep it more and more and more there. See, then also, even you know the knack or technique, your mind, because of asanas, can go here, there, do everything. So there the vairagya is important. But when you have clarity, then the struggle is over actually. He actually, Muruganaswamy says, the real prasadam of Guru is clarity. Thelivu Guruvin Thiru Uru Kandal, Thelivu Guruvin Tirunamam Seppal, Thelivu Guruvin Thiruvarthai Kettal, Thelivu Guru Uru Sindittal Dane, Tirumandiram says. So Thelivu, the clarity is what Guru gives you. That is Guru's prasada. So when you, by his grace, when we get that clarity, then everything becomes very simple. Till then, there is struggle. And Bhagavan himself says, to reach this effortless state, you need to put in tremendous effort, he says. And somebody reported to Bhagavan that J. Krishnamurti and all says, he's all effortless and all. Bhagavan said, he would have finished in his previous janmas. He says, to reach this effortless state, you have to put in a lot of efforts. Bhagavan himself has said. So therefore, effort is required. It has to be put. But it is only in the initial stage when we are struggling, when you are groping in darkness. But when you get the clarity, when you see the light, when you get the guidance from within, then it becomes very simple. Not only simple, or madhuri, maduram, adaram maduram, nayanam maduram. Like that, it is all ramyam, maduram it is actually. And that is the beautiful, most beautiful state. So therefore, mind would want to glide in it. You know what? So therefore, effort is required. But after that, you glide in it. Yes. The next question.
I'll ask the final question, Swamiji.
Yes.
You have said the effects of too much of scriptural studies might be detrimental. However, is it not beneficial for a sadhaka to read these works in order to thereby gain a clearer understanding of what is to be done, and also to be inspired by these great saints and rishis who have shared their vast experiences?
See, what I'm trying to say, yes, you need to study and understand. Bhagavan himself says, Vedaisha sarvair ahameva vedya. Sri Krishna says. See, Sri Krishna says, Vedaisha sarvair ahameva vedya, he says. What he says? From all the Vedas, what you have to know is myself, he says. See, people, how they interpret, Krishna says, from all the Vedas, the devotees need to know only Krishna. That is not the idea. Vedaisha sarvai aham eva vedyaha. Meaning what? Only the self alone needs to be known. Very beautiful, very clear. Tat tvamasi. That's what the scriptures say. So therefore, if you want to know the self, what you have to do? If you want to know anything, you have to give attention. So if you have to understand the planetary movements, the solar system, the galaxies, what you need to do? You need to give attention. You have to watch and observe through the telescope or whatever. Give all your attention, the movement of the planets and the solar system and everything. So whatever you want to know in this world, you have to give attention. When you want to know yourself, you have to give attention to the self. See, without giving attention to the self, knowing everything else, how does it matter? Bhagavan asks. So if you want to know the self, the only way is you have to give attention to the self. From the book, how can you know the self? Because self in the Hridaya Guhara Madhye Kevalam Brahma Matram. So therefore, study of scripture is okay. In the beginning, it gives you clarity. I don't deny that. See, like a pole vault, Gurudev Swami Chinmayanji says, like a pole vault. You need the pole to gain the height. But along with the pole, you cannot cross over. You have to leave the pole and then you have to cross. So similarly, you need the scriptural study and everything, but it has to be dropped because that itself will become pratibandha. So therefore, too much of studying this bhashya, that bhashya, and arguing, and then hair splitting, argument. Adallah, it will not take you far because Bhagavan has never indulged in that. You do this, you will be liberated. That's what Bhagavan has said. No sort of hair splitting arguments. Then Bhagavan says, Yarkinda kelvi, Yarkinda sandeham, for whom this doubt, go within, he says. So I feel that is the way to go. There is no end to all this, understanding. Because all the understanding is ego's understanding. Ego is the problem. Ego has to be destroyed. So ego's another trick to survive is to study and understand. So we should not fall prey to that. So therefore, giving attention to the I thought alone will destroy the I thought, not through studies. See, just now I told you, na pravachanena labhyaha, nayamatma pravachanena labhyaha, na medhaya, na bahuna shrutena. Shrutena means what? Studying also is included there. So the Kathopanishad itself says it cannot be attained through scriptural studies. Too much studying. Not help actually. That's why Bhagavan never encouraged that way. Yes, you have to understand. Then you have to sit and go within, give attention to the self. It is very important. That is the way to. Thank you so much, Mohan Ramaswamiji. Thank you so much to you. And also all the devotees. Bhagavan, Sri Bhagavan bless you all. And we are all in the same boat. We are all sadhakas. We are all journeying in the same ocean. So let Bhagavan bless all of us. Om Purnamadha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you so much. Hari Om.
Thank you, Swamiji. And our sincere appreciation of you agreeing, although we came almost at the last minute, but without, you are absolutely committed to doing this one, and our deepest appreciation for doing this and for enlightening about Bhagavan's teaching. And I hope we will hear from you all the more. And Swamiji has got a small ashram about a couple of miles from Sri Ramanasramam, and he's totally dedicated to Bhagavan, Sri Ramana Maharshi. Pranam Swamiji, Hari Om.
I'm always available. I'm Bhagavan's devotee. So whenever people need me for any clarification, they can always approach. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you.